Welcome, everyone. You are all muted. I will be starting in a minute or minute and a half. So get a pen and paper, like a notepad and a pen, because you're going to have a lot of stuff to write down. So be ready. Show me your notepad and your pen. You ready to go? I'm so excited. I have my iPad here with a ton of notes. And one more minute and we're going to get started. I believe everybody is muted. I'm just going to make sure again, everyone is muted. I don't know if we'll have time at the end because I have a lot of stuff to share with you. But if we do, I may take some questions at the end. So let me see. Another 30 seconds. We're just going to make sure we start on time. So those who get here right on time don't feel like they missed anything. Happy 2022, everybody. Happy New Year. Hey, Donna. It's good to see you. I see you right there. All right. So how to take 100 listings in 2022. That's an exciting goal. I don't care who you are. Whether you're a brand new agent that's like, whoa, that's so exciting. If you've been in real estate for a while, and even if you've taken a lot of listings before, 20, 30, 40, 50, or even 100, even if you've done it before, it's a very exciting goal. And that's going to be the topic of this webinar today. I have 20 points that I'm going to share with you, and they're all, I would say, equally important. Otherwise, they wouldn't be one of the 20. I'm not going to say stuff to you to waste your time. These are 20 things that when you implement them, you'll be able to take 100 listings in 1 year. You'll be able to do it this year. And the best part about all of this that I'm going to share with you today is you'll be able to do it again and again and again and again. I want to start by reading a quote to you from Napoleon Hill, the author of Think and Grow Rich. And I'm going to mention the book a little bit later again. Write this quote down. He says, "There is no such thing as something for nothing. Everything, including your success, has a price that must be paid." Napoleon Hill. I feel this is a really appropriate quote to start this webinar with, because I know if you're like every other real estate agent, you're looking for the magic answer. This is it. Jackie's going to give it to us. This is the webinar. She's going to tell me how to take 100 listings in 2022, like magically. Yeah, well, it's not going to happen like that, okay? I'm going to give you 20 points, but it is going to be hard work. The beauty of what I'm going to share with you today is, in most of your markets today, a listing taken is a listing sold. Yes? I mean, you got to do something really crazy with the price for it to expire. There are still some expireds out there in every market. But for the most part, a listing taken is a listing sold. So let's not call it 100% or 100 listings will sell. Let's say 80 out of the 100 sell. Okay, you still have 20 expireds. And let's just say your average commission is $10,000. Some of yours are way higher. Okay, but let's just say 10,000. That's $800,000 in GCI. That's what we're talking about. That's what I'm going to lay down for you on how to create that kind of GCI this year. Now, GCI, right? Gross commission. How important is that really? Well, unless you have a really big ego and you just want to have a big GCI, it's meaningless. I've worked in coaching real estate agents for going into 16 years now. It's been a long time. And I have witnessed so many agents with big teams that are grossing millions and are netting very little, very little. I'm talking about expenses being, 60-70% of their GCI. Now, that's not what I'm going to teach you how to do today, because that's one way of doing it. Could you spend enough money to buy enough leads that will generate 100 listings taken for you in 2022? The answer is yes, you can. So if 80% of your listings sell, 80 out of 100 at an average commission of 10,000, and you can gross 800,000, you could spend half of that. You could spend a few $100,000 buying leads. That could get you 100 listings taken and 80 listings sold. Now, here's the challenge that you have with that. First of all, I would assume that most of you don't have a few $100,000 that you want to just spend to get 100 listings. Although if you spend money and you make money, that's okay. Yeah, that's good. It's a good investment if there's some return on the investment. However, if you buy these leads, you spend this ton of money to buy leads, you're still in a predicament, because having a lead doesn't mean you have a listing. You still have to handle objections. You still have to be the best agent in your market. You still got to show value. You got to have a great presentation. You got to know how to price properties, because even in a hot market, listings expire when they're overpriced, and you got to be able to close. You got to get a signature. You got to be able to influence, and you just got to learn how to sell. So even if you have the money and you're willing to spend all this money, you're still left with having to learn how to sell. That's what we're going to do here today. So, I said to you, I read you the Napoleon Hill quote. The 20 points, and I'm about to get started with the 20 points here. It's easy. Actually, everything that I'm going to tell you to do is easy. Okay? It's easy in terms of it's not rocket science. It's not brain surgery. So for all practical purposes, it's easy. What's not easy is to have the discipline, the commitment. That's the part that is not easy. The initiative to actually do what you are supposed to do. Because I'm going to tell you what to do. I'm going to tell you how to do it. And it's not complicated. Okay? Anybody can do it. The question is, are you one of the few that actually have what it takes to make things happen? Because that's really what's required. Okay? Fairly simple. So here's point number 1 for you to take 100 listings this year. It's going to sound so simple. You gotta set a goal to take 100 listings this year. Thank you, Captain Obvious. How are you ever going to be able to do something unless you set it as a goal? That's where everything starts. So you got to set a goal. Why? Because a goal gives you direction. You know where you're going. It's just like if you get in your car after this webinar and you have no destination. You're just driving around in circles endlessly, like a ship without a rudder. Like you got nowhere to go. You don't know where you're headed. So setting that as a goal is the beginning of everything that I'm going to share with you here today. And also, having this as a goal is going to help you stay focused, because it's exciting to be able to take 100 listings in 2022, isn't it? Raise your hand. Yes. Shake your head. Yes. Nod. Yes. I'm excited about that.
Yes.
What's not, thank you, Lily. What's not so easy is to stay focused on that. You got to have that as a goal and stay focused on the goal, because staying focused is the opposite of being distracted. Okay, write that down. focus versus distracted. And that's a challenge for most real estate agents. Why? Because you are bombarded with hundreds of ways to get distracted on a daily basis. Right or wrong? Yes, I muted everybody again. So you couldn't, if you're in a quiet spot, Lily, you could unmute your line as long as it's quiet, okay? There's no noise.
100%. Something will always come up, and I need to continue to remind myself that I am not an emergency room doctor,
There you
and there is
go.
no such thing as an emergency in real estate.
That's my girl. That's right. Yeah, but there's endless things. Do this, do that. Oh, this sounds so good. Throw your money and your time here. Go do this, go do that. So having the goal is going to get you to stay focused. It's the first step. Here's step number 2. You got to get excited about this goal. You got to get really, really, really excited about this goal. Actually, you got to go beyond excited. Write this down. You have to become obsessed with this goal. Period. Obsessed. So what I mean by that, let me put it another way. As Napoleon Hill would call it, having a burning desire to achieve this goal. Because you're not going to take 100 listings in 2022 if you just think, it would be nice. It's not going to happen. If that's how you're feeling, well, that would, I would like that. Yeah, you're not going to make it happen. When you're obsessed about your goal, when you're excited about your goal, when you have a burning desire to achieve this goal. And what that means is you're willing to do whatever it takes. Whatever. It doesn't matter how many hours I have to, it doesn't matter what Jackie tells me to do, because I'm going to give you 20 points, right? Oh my gosh, I got to do all this stuff. When you're obsessed about your goal, and you're that excited about your goal, whatever you have to do, it's not even going to feel like hard work. It is going to be hard work because there's no such thing as something for nothing, but it's not going to feel that way because you are so excited and obsessed about achieving that goal. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? It's required. It's not going to happen any other way. Now, how do you become obsessed with your goal? I'm going to actually refer you to chapter 4 of Think and Grow Rich. If you've read the book before, go read it again. I'm rereading it now, and I'm just blown away. Okay, like I feel like I've never read the book before. That's how excited I am. Chapter 4, he talks about the principle of auto-suggestion. That's the title. It's auto-suggestion. And I'm not gonna. I'm telling you to go read the book and go read the chapter. So I'm not gonna. I cannot. I have notes, very detailed notes on that chapter, but I'm not gonna tell you that right now. I'm just gonna give you a couple of points here. Okay, things that you must do so you could develop this burning desire and obsession to achieve your goal. Here's the first thing you're gonna do. Write down your goal. I take 100 listings in 2022. 100 times when you wake up in the morning. Oh my gosh, Jackie, how long is that going to take? Doesn't matter. When you're obsessed about your goal, when you're so excited, when you are going to do whatever it takes, it might take you 10 minutes, whatever it takes, you're just going to do it, okay? And you're going to, again, write down your goal. I take 100 listings in 2022. It's a short sentence, by the way. Another 100 times before you go to sleep at night. So 100 times in the morning and 100 times before you go to bed. What else? Every hour on the hour. Put an alarm on your phone, okay? I have an alarm on my phone. It goes every hour on the hour. And I have affirmations that come up, except for when I'm on a live call like this or whatever. There's certain times when I cannot just stop and do what my alarm is saying. But outside of that, I do have it from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. I get up at 4:30 in the morning usually, but it starts at 8 a.m. Anyway, every hour on the hour, Call it from 7 a.m., 7 p.m., 8 to 8, whatever. An alarm is going to go off. And when that alarm goes off, you are going 10 times. You're going to close your eyes. You're going to sit in a quiet spot. You're going to close your eyes. You're going to repeat this affirmation. I take 100 listings in 2022. And you're not just going to say it out loud. You're going to say it out loud. Oh, but where I am, there are people around. Who cares? Do you even care? Like, go, I mean, not in, in the middle of a listing presentation, don't do that. But when you're in your office or your home, there are people around, doesn't matter. Find a little quiet spot. Say it. You don't have to scream it. You could just verbalize it 10 times with your eyes closed and visualize, create a visual image of you taking 100 listings in 2022. You figure out how to visualize that, okay? I'm not going to spend time on that right now. So for you to just understand moving forward, I'm going to give you the 3 P's of affirmations. I take 100 listings in 2022 is an affirmation. Affirmations, the 3 P's are, it's present tense. It is personal, and it's positive. It's a positive statement. It's not like I don't do that. Like, let's say, for example, if you want to write an affirmation about not procrastinating, your affirmation wouldn't be I don't procrastinate. No, positive. I am a doer. That would be a positive way to spin that. Present tense. You don't say I will take 100 listings in 20. No. I take right now, today, in this moment, this second. Okay. So those are the 3 P's when you decide to write some new affirmations for yourself. Point number 3, you have to decide that you're going to have fun taking 100 listings in 2022. Because the more fun you have, the more money you make. You're not going to take 100 listings in 2022 if you're unhappy, miserable, and dreading everything you have to do to take 100 listings in 2022. You're not. If you're miserable and you're dreading the process and you're unhappy about your life and your goal, it's like, what could you expect? Remember, you don't get what you want in life. You get who you are. So you gotta have fun, because if your emotions are going in a negative direction, guess what? That's what you're gonna get, like in real life. And I would say this, oh, but I'm not a person that usually has fun. Well, you gotta change that. You gotta start having fun. And when you're obsessed about your goal, because that was point number 2, it's easy to have fun because you're obsessed. It's so exciting. Great. Point number 4, you have every step of the way, every minute of every day that you're working towards this goal. You have to have high energy. You cannot you couldn't expect to take 100 listings this year by, I'm kind of like tired. I don't really have a lot of energy and I'm not very excited or enthusiastic. I mean, what seller wants to list with an agent like that? Even if they are like that, that's not what they want in an agent. A motivated seller is looking for an aggressive agent, a go-getter, passionate, excited, full of energy and enthusiasm, excited about getting the house sold for them. People make decisions when they're excited about the future. So this seller is going to decide to hire you to list their house with you when they're excited about what you can do for them. But they're not going to get excited about what you can do for them if you're not excited about what you're doing for them. So there you go. Energy, passion, excitement, enthusiasm. It's contagious. It's contagious. Now, I'm not going to get into that on this webinar because it's not really the direction that I'm going. but also the skill of mimicking and matching is critical when you're prospecting or you're talking to somebody you don't know. You gotta mimic and match. So I say high energy enthusiasm. If you happen to call somebody and they answer the phone, hello, you don't go, hi, this is Jackie, I'm full of energy. No, they're gonna go nuts. They're gonna think you're crazy. Mimic and match at first, and because that's what you do to get in rapport, and then you lead them with energy. Once you're in rapport, you lead them with energy, enthusiasm, passion. There you go. So energy and enthusiasm is contagious, and it makes up for a lack of skill. Some of you may be already highly skilled agents. Some of you are brand new. You have zero skill. You have no idea what you're doing. Okay, so energy and enthusiasm makes up for that.
Be as viral as COVID.
Say that again.
Be as viral as COVID.
Ooh, yeah, Lily. There you go. I like that thought. Point number 5. Ooh, cut off all of your options. All of your options. Napoleon Hill talks about that too. You gotta burn the ships. You cannot say or think like this. Oh my gosh, taking 100 listings in 2022. That's so exciting. But, if I take 20, that would be okay. That's having an option and being okay with that option. You're not going to achieve a goal like that. And hey, by the way, I meant to say this in the beginning and I didn't, so I'm going to say it now. When I say take 100 listings in 2022, I mean you personally, okay? If you have a team and there's 10 people in your team, it's not like 100 listings for the team. No. I'm talking about you personally taking 100 listings on your own, okay? Yeah, that's if you have an option of less, you being okay with less, it's not going to happen. This is for you to achieve this goal that we're talking about here. It's going to take you being all in. It's going to take everything you've got. Okay. It's got to be that obsession. Like it's just like, for it not to happen is just not a possibility. It doesn't exist. That possibility, that's impossible. It's going to happen. Whatever it is, it's going to happen, and I'm going to make it happen. Here's point number 6. You have to take massive action. Yeah, it's not going to happen just because you're listening to this webinar today. It's not going to happen. Even if you could be obsessed and you could be really excited and you could have a lot of energy, but you don't do anything. You kind of just, sit around without taking action. And it's not just action. I said massive action. There is no substitute for massive action. Even if you were not to do anything else, and you're like the most boring, unhappy, miserable person, you're just taking action. I don't say you would take 100 listings in 2022, but you'd get business. You'd run into somebody that says, "Oh, I love your lack of energy. Like I'm just as miserable as you. I want to work with you." If you talk to enough people, somebody's gonna like that style. Yeah. But when you combine everything that I'm telling you here with massive action, literally unstoppable. Actually, write this down on your notes. I'm going to give you a formula to become unstoppable. Would you like that? Say yes. Lily is probably the only one unmuted.
Yes.
Please.
All right. Okay, here you go. Formula to become unstoppable. Believe that you can do it. That's number 1. You got to develop that belief. Okay? And again, if you go back to chapter 4 of Think and Grow Rich, that's going to really, really help you with this. Chapter 3 is on faith. That's the title, which is the second thing you need on the formula to become unstoppable. Belief and faith. Faith. that it is going to happen. I'm going to make it happen. This is happening. Belief and faith mixed with emotion. What emotion? I'm excited. I'm obsessed. I'm high energy. I'm full of enthusiasm. Those emotions. And when all of this is propelled by massive action, done. That's it. Belief, faith, positive emotions, and massive action. Unstoppable. That's it. Was that simple? Did you like that? Say yes. I'm excited
Yes.
about it. I hope
Oh,
you're
yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes.
okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's it. Thank you. I get it. You're excited. Point number 7. Point number 7.
You can't handle all that excitement?
Yeah, I can handle it. Yeah, I love it actually. I get so excited when you're excited. And I'm going to be even more excited when all of you start producing results, and then you're sending me messages and emails and saying, "Oh my gosh, it's happening. It's happening." That's even more exciting. Okay, point number 7. Because you are obsessed and so excited about your goal, you're going to talk to everyone everywhere about real estate. And you're going to not just talk to them about real estate, you're going to ask them if they have any interest in selling their home anytime in the near future, or they know anybody that's thinking about selling their home right now or in the near future. Could you ask about buyers as well? Are you interested in buying or selling? And do you know anybody? Yes, absolutely. You're a real estate agent. So this is a listings-based conversation here, but you're going to ask about buyers too. I'll tell you in a minute what to do with those buyers, okay? But you're going to talk to everybody. Everywhere. I don't care where you go. Like, you're out and about, you see people you know, people you don't know, all day, all over the place. And they may even know you're in real estate, but you don't ask them about real estate every time you see them. You don't share some information about real estate, whether it's interest rates, the inventory, average price in your area. Talk to people about what's happening. Hey, do you know what's happening in our real estate market right now? Share a piece of information. Do you happen to be thinking about buying or selling? Do you know anybody? Everyone, everywhere. That's what you do when you're obsessed and excited about your goal. It's not hard to do. When you're obsessed and excited, it's easy. Okay, point number 8. Refer all of the buyers that come to you. Oh my gosh, some of you are like, really? Well, I got this buyer. Who was it 2 weeks ago on our live call? Because a lot of my clients are here. Liana, right? Oh, it's like this $4 million buyer. And it's like, oh, it's like so tempting. Like, how do I refer that? You know, it's a lot of money. I sell a house to this buyer and we're talking about $120,000 in commission. How do I refer that? You do. Because for you personally to take 100 listings in 2022, which you can and you will, you got no time to spare with buyers. 0. Okay? Get a referral fee. $4 million buyer. Anyway, this client, right? She spent the whole week. She didn't do anything. She spent the whole entire week with this $4 million buyer, and they decided not to buy. And she was like, ah! And then the following week, which was last week, she listed her very first expired. She said, okay, I'm going to listen to what Jackie's telling me to do. I'm going to get on the phone. I'm going to call expired. She listed a $1 million expired. That's it. First one of many to come. You gotta have it's going to take some courage, I suppose, right, to refer these buyers, but you have to, because otherwise you're not going to be able to get this done. Point number 9. The word of this webinar is obsessive. You got to be obsessive about prospecting and lead follow-up. Prospecting. It's not a bad word, okay? It really isn't. When I tell you to talk to everyone everywhere, which was point number 7, that's prospecting. That is called prospecting. You're talking to people. To prospect means to find something. In your case, you got to find somebody that wants to sell their house, because for you to take a listing, you got to find somebody here that wants to sell. And that's what prospecting is. So you got to be obsessed with that. You're having conversations with people about buying and selling real estate. And you got to be obsessive about lead follow-up. I'll talk more about that in just a moment. Point number 10 is your daily schedule. Or right on time. It's 2:30 p.m. Eastern time, and we're halfway through. So point number 10, your daily schedule. Monday through Friday, from 9 a.m. until noon. No, did I say 9 a.m.? Scratch that. It's 8 a.m. 8 a.m. 8 a.m. till noon. And that's if you are in Florida. If you're not in Florida, check the laws in your state. Make sure
I was about to say.
Yeah, okay. Go check your state laws, okay? In Florida, you can legally dial the phone and talk to people from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. You check your state, okay? So 8 a.m. until noon, if you're in Florida, that's 4 hours of prospecting on the phone, in addition to talking to people everywhere, all over the place, okay? And Saturday from 9 a.m. until noon. Saturdays, 9 a.m. till noon. That's your schedule. Saturdays, afternoon, and Sundays, that's when you're off work, okay? You're gonna work 5.5 days a week. What's your schedule after 12 noon? From 12 to 1 p.m. is your lunch time. From 1 to 3 p.m., and I'm being so nice about this, okay? Like I'm being extra nice. That's your time to do administrative work, which would include preparing a CMA to go on a listing appointment, negotiating an offer, or negotiating contract, responding to emails, returning phone calls, whatever admin you have to do. You got 2 hours. From 3 to 5 p.m., you're gonna door knock. And you're gonna door knock FSBOs and expireds that you didn't have a phone number for. You can door knock FSBOs and expireds that you talked to and were not able to set an appointment over the phone. So now you're gonna go to the door and talk to them in person. And also you're gonna door knock a geographic area. In a moment, I'm gonna give you who you're supposed to prospect to when you're dialing in order of priority. And the last one in the priority order is going to be a geographic area. So you go door knocking, 3 to 5. You're going to get out of the office, off the phone, go see people face to face. And from 5 until 8 p.m., you're going to get back on the phone and do more telephone prospecting. Now, if you have listing appointments, you're in the afternoon, you're going to go on listing appointments. You're going to prepare your CMA, you're going to go on listing appointments. This 3 to 5 and 5 to 8 is if you don't have listing appointments, what do? You're looking for people that want to sell. So you can set listing appointments. And when you start getting a rhythm and picking up momentum with the prospecting, and you're getting better at the conversations you're having, you're going to be able to set appointments in the morning. So you're not going to be this afternoon, evening schedule. I actually made calls in the evening, prospecting calls in the evening, probably for the first 3 years of my real estate career. No, I didn't have listing appointments. I was on the phone, dialing, calling the expireds I couldn't get a hold of in the morning, calling FSBOs, didn't answer the phone, following up on some leads. I was doing all of that. Maybe 2 hours because my goal is to set an appointment. If I didn't set one in the morning, I'm going to make it happen in the afternoon. You got to think like that, okay? Because that's when you're obsessed about your goal, that's how you think. So anyway, obviously, if you have appointments, you're not going to prospect in the afternoon. Point number 11, who are you going to talk to in order of priority? First priority of the day, new expired listings. New expireds. New means the ones that expired today. They're only new for the day, during the day when they expired. Tomorrow, if somebody expired today, tomorrow they're already old. Okay, so your new expireds go first. Second, new for sale by owners, the new ones for the day. Third order of priority, your past clients and sphere of influence. You're going to take the total number of past clients sphere combined that's in your, let's call it your database, and you're going to divide that number by 55, because 55 is the number of days that you've been working every quarter. So divided by 55, and that's how many you're gonna call every day. If you had, just because I need easy math, otherwise I can't do it in my head. If you had 110 people in your past client sphere of influence database, you divide it by 55, that's 2 a day. So that's what you would have to call 2 a day. If you, depending on how many, you just divide it by 55, okay? There are some people in your database, the people that have given you referrals in the past, repeat business, past clients that have done more than one transaction with you, you might want to call them more than once a quarter, but that's the general rule. After the database, you're going to go back and call old expireds in chronological order going backwards. So you already called today's expireds. Now you're going to call yesterday's and the day before and the day before and the day before and the chronological backwards. The next call in order of priority would be old FSBO, same thing, in order of priority, chronological order backwards. Then you're going to call vendors that you do business with, that you refer business to. And all of you work with vendors in real estate, mortgage brokers, home inspectors, handyman, whatever, okay, attorneys. And you refer clients to all of these people. You need to let them know that you expect referrals in return. Okay, these relationships you have with your vendors need to be a win-win. It needs to go both ways, and you need to make those expectations clear. Oh, but they never gave me a referral. Oh, you probably never asked, and they don't know that you expect anything, so they don't give you anything. And then the last one would be the geographic.
Just listed, just sold.
The geographic area are just listed, just sold. But just listed, just sold would not necessarily be a geographic sort of area that you carefully select because it makes sense. Just listed, you could take a listing anywhere and sell a house anywhere and call around that particular property. What I'm recommending you do here is you carefully select a geographic area of maybe 3,000 or 4,000 homes, and you're circling, in addition to just listed, just sold, you could use the same script, but it's a different strategy, okay, with the geographic area and the just listed, just sold. Okay, good. Last thing I want to mention about this in the priority of calls, in all of my years and experience with coaching, literally tens of thousands of agents, between one-on-one coaching and group coaching, I have had tens of thousands of agents in my programs, and including in person. I used to be a coach that traveled around the country for 5 years teaching in person. The number one excuse, and it's obviously an excuse. I mean, there's like a top 3 excuses agents have for not prospecting, but one of the big ones is, I don't have enough phone numbers. I don't have enough expired. I don't have enough FSBOs. I don't have enough nothing. I just don't have enough phone numbers. Well, I mean, if you live in a town with, I don't know, 100 households, and you want to sell, you want to take 100 listings, you might need to move to somewhere where there are people and houses, and, you know, more houses. Having said that, most of you, it's not that you don't have enough phone numbers. There's a lack of preparation. Okay. In a hot market, if you are in a hot market, a lot of areas in the country, it's a seller's market. In a hot market, you have a lot of for sale by owners because properties are selling fast, and everyone that wants to sell thinks they can sell it on their own. They don't need a real estate agent. There are more FSBOs than expireds. They're out there. You may not know what to say. You may be scared of the objections. You don't know what to do, but they're out there and they're listing with somebody. Okay. And even in a hot market, there are still expired listings. There are people that overprice their agents that take listings overpriced. They take short listings. There are all kinds of reasons why listings expire, and they're still out there, even in a hot market. If you're in a buyer's market, or when we go back to a buyer's market, you're going to have more expireds than FSBOs. But the point is, I don't have, like, how could you not have enough? Do you have one for sale by owner a week? Yes. Are you calling the one you have? No. Well, then what's the difference if you had 1 or 100? You're not calling the one you have. So the reason for not calling is not that you don't have them, it's just that you're not willing to do it. And how could you not have enough just listed, just sold? Or like a neighborhood, unless like you live like in the middle of nowhere by yourself, in which case you shouldn't be a real estate agent. I don't know what you're going to do. I don't know, work in a farm or something of your own. I don't know. You shouldn't be in real estate. But you cannot run out of phone numbers. You have to prepare the night before. You got to have at least, I say to my clients, 500 phone numbers in front of you at all times. Probably more, 1,000. You're never going to run out of phone numbers. I recommend using Espresso Agent. It's a great system. If you go on my website, salesxtraining.com, and you click on dialer, you'll get 40% off the first 3 months. Normally, they give you 1 year of past expireds. They'll give you 2 years of past expireds with the code Jackie3M that you could put as a coupon code. And it's a great service. If you're interested in Vulcan 7, which is also another great service, there's a link on my website. And they'll give you a great deal on Vulcan 7 too. You need to be prepared. You cannot just like, I don't have enough phone numbers. There's a way to fix that. Point number 12. I said earlier, you have to be obsessive about lead follow-up. Okay, what does that look like? Because that's this point. You have to be obsessive about follow-up. When you have, first of all, you got to be selective about who becomes a lead for you. For you to take 100 listings in 2022, everyone you talk to cannot become a lead, because you're going to have, hundreds of leads, and not all of them are hot leads. And the hot leads are gonna get lost in the shuffle of all this stuff you got going on, these leads everywhere. And then you're not able to follow up obsessively. Follow up obsessively. You notice when I gave you the schedule, there was no time for lead follow-up on your schedule. Did anybody notice that? I didn't tell you. You follow up on your leads between 1 and 2 p.m. I didn't say that. It's not on your schedule. Why? Because there's no specific time for you to follow up on your leads. You're going to follow up on your leads all day long, every hour on the hour. You're going to be able to do that because you don't have hundreds of leads. When I was selling real estate and me personally, by myself, okay, no ISA, no team, I listed 100 FSBOs and 150 FSBOs and expires a year, about 100 FSBOs, 50 expires for several years. I don't think I ever had more than maybe 15 leads, ever. I mean, most of the time I had way less. On a daily basis, I would have 1 or 2 people that I had to follow up with. Could I be upset if I have 1 or 2 a day? Like today, I got a hot lead, and I know it's a hot lead because FSBOs and expireds are all hot leads. Okay, these are not long-term prospects, and that's all the only people I called. So if I have 1 or 2 or even 3, can I call them every hour on the hour? If they don't answer the phone, if I call at noon, and they don't answer. Could I call again at 1? Yeah. At 2, at 3? Yeah. But if I have hundreds, you're totally lost. Okay? And having a lot of leads gives you a complete false sense of security. Oh, I got so many leads. Yeah, nobody's going to do anything for the next 3 years, but I got a bunch of leads here. It's like totally useless. And how do you know that you're being selective about who becomes a lead for you? So I'm going to give you 2 rules. The first one is the 10% rule. No more than 10% of the total number of people you talk to on a daily basis should become a lead for you, period. So if you talk to 50 people, no more than 5, no more, maybe less, okay? And the other rule is 70% rule. At least 70% of your leads need to turn into an appointment set for you, or you're keeping a bunch of junky leads, period. Here's point number 13. Your minimum standard for contacts per hour is 10 contacts per hour. On your schedule, if you're in Florida, I told you to prospect from 8 a.m. until noon. That's 4 hours. So that would be 40 contacts per hour. Every 50 minutes that you prospect, you could take a 5-10 minute break, 50, 55, 5-10 minute break. And during that break, you're going to go to the bathroom. You're going to get maybe something to drink, a little something that gives you energy if you need to eat something quickly. You're not going to check emails. You're not going to go on social media. You're not going to get distracted, okay? That's not the point of the break. So that's 40 contacts in the morning. And then whatever else you do later in the afternoon, minimum 10 contacts per hour. And I'm going to say a minimum, this is what it takes to take 100 listings in 2022. Don't get caught up in like, oh my gosh, I got to talk to that many people. We're talking about taking 100 listings in 2022. If you sell 80 of those at a 10,000 commission, we're talking about $800,000. Do you think you're going to make $800,000 and net most of that money? Because since you're doing it yourself, you don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars in expenses that you're paying. No, you're going to keep most of that money. Oh, yeah, you're going to have to work, okay? So I'm going to say minimum of 50 contacts per day. Write that down. And now I'm going to give you a definition of a contact. If you dial the phone and they don't answer, is that a contact? No. Here's very simple. A contact is a conversation. You got to have a conversation. Now, remember, if you just do 40 in the morning and you have listing appointments in the afternoon and you're not going to do afternoon prospecting, where's the other 10 going to come from? From people that you're talking to out and about, when you're out, like whatever you're doing, okay? That's where they're going to come from. So a conversation is a contact, but it's not just a conversation with anybody. It has to be a conversation with an adult who can make a decision. So if you call a number and a 5-year-old answers the phone and you can tell, hello, it's a little kid. Oh, do you want to buy or sell your house? No, my mommy's not home. That's not a contact, okay? Point number 14. You have to track your numbers. Somebody like you who's going to take 100 listings this year, you're an entrepreneur. You're not a real estate agent. You own your own business. Business people, they know their numbers. They know what they're doing because that's how you can make decisions and make changes. So very simple. I'm going to tell you real quick what numbers you need to track. Write this down quickly. How many hours you are prospecting every day. And the prospecting time on the phone, okay, in person, when you're talking to everybody everywhere is different. You should still track that. But when you're on the phone, the hours that you prospect, this is what they look like. Dial, talk, dial, talk, dial, talk, dial, talk. Okay, it's not like you start making calls. Remember I said focus is required, okay? You start making calls, and then you see an expired, like, oh, I'm gonna go look up their tax record, and I'm gonna go in the MLS and see if they relist it. No, I don't want you to do any of that ever. No, during your prospecting, before or after. When you set an appointment and you're gonna prepare your CMA, obviously you're gonna look at the tax record and the MLS and all that. But outside of that, no. You don't research, no. When you take a break to go to the bathroom, you're not prospecting in the bathroom. I mean, you could, but I don't recommend, that you're talking to people and then you flush the toilet. It's dial talk, dial talk, dial talk. Everything else is not called prospecting. If you're looking up phone numbers for some, which you shouldn't, because you should be using Espresso Agent or Vulcan 7, that's not considered prospecting either. You're going to track the number of contacts that you're making, number of conversations. You're going to track how many listing appointments you set. You're going to track how many listing appointments you go on, how many listings you take, how many sell, and obviously your income. And here's point number 15. Some of you are not going to like this. Stop previewing properties. No more. False sense of security. And it's a waste of time, period. It's inefficient. It's a waste of time. I have client after client after client. Oh, this is what I used to do. Got me nowhere. Just wasting my time. You need to learn how to sell. You need to learn how to get on the phone and talk to people everywhere and set appointments. Not go on previews. No, done. No more of that. Number 16, you need to have in the morning a pre-prospecting routine. If you're going to get on the phone at 8 a.m. because that's the time when you legally can, from the moment you wake up in the morning, you wake up meaning like you open your eyes. I'm awake. Until you get on the phone to start dialing. There are only 2 activities you're going to be involved in. It will be activities that strengthen your mindset and activities that improve your skills. Period. You're not going to do anything else. Anything else. Okay. And I'm not going to give you details on pre-prospecting routine right now because I don't have time. Okay. So there are lots of things you can do, you should do, strengthening your mindset. You get the idea. And practice. And then training for an hour. I'm biased. I'm the founder and coach at SalesX Training. There are over 400 video, audio lessons, live calls, over 400, and we're uploading new ones every week, every day of the week. There are new ones. Right now, there are 400 on skills, on mindset, live role plays, every objection you could imagine, listing presentation, action. Like, you need to spend an hour like feeding your brain that kind of stuff before you get on the phone in the morning. And this is still part of point number 16 because it's part of your practice. Practice meaning training and also some role playing. You got to master handling objections. You can't get away from that. You're going to get objections in person, over the phone, whoever you talk to. You got to master handling objections, master your listing presentation and closing. Point number 17, I'm going to give you some book recommendations. 17 is just a few books you need to read. Number 1, Think and Grow Rich. I already mentioned that. Number 2, The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles. What I love about these titles is even though like the word rich is in the title of these books are all about mindset. You can't get rich without changing how you think. Book number 3 here. I'm going to give you 5. The Magic of Thinking Big. The author is David Schwartz. Number 4, Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. Get the clean version.
I
And
love it.
and number 5,
Currently obsessed with David Goggins.
there you go. I get you, girl. The guy's like he's
I love him. He
I-
told the guy to find his ball sack. He doesn't care, and I love him.
Hi, Lily. Yeah,
And
man.
your number
Talk
4.
about being authentic. That's my word, authentic, right there. And then the last one is a classic. I mean, most of these books are, well, Can't Hurt Me is a new book, but it's quickly becoming a classic. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. Okay, there you go. You got a good reading list right there. Point number 18.
Excuse me, could you say what was book number 4? Sorry.
Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And 7, please.
There's only 5. Think and Grow Rich, The Science of Getting Rich, The Magic of Thinking Big, Can't Hurt Me, and The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Oh, that's why you got 7, because it's in the title of the 5th book. 7 Habits.
It's not on here, but How to Win Friends and Influence People is also a really good book by Dale Carnegie.
I mean, yeah, I could give you 100 books. I selected 5, but that's a great book too. How to Win Friends and Influence People. Okay, point number 18. Protect your mind. What does that mean? No more social media. Out, at least from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. No more social media. No news. Don't watch the news. And get rid of negative people in your life. I'm going to talk about that. Some of those that are close to you, got to figure out how to do that. Okay. And mindset is everything. You need to bombard your brain with powerful, positive, motivational, inspirational ideas 24/7 to take 100 listings in 2022. And you cannot afford to let people throw garbage in your mind. Period. Point number 19. I'm going to give you a breakdown of numbers now. Okay. You're going to work 240 days. This year. Work. A day work is a day prospected. If you don't prospect, you're not working. You're going to set, there's 365 days in the year. Like, you're only going to work 240. Like, this is easy. You're going to set 1 listing appointment every day that you work. That's 240. Now, if this is brand new to you and you're starting today, okay, because you're so excited about this now, it's like, that's it, I'm ready to go. You may not be able to start setting an appointment today, tomorrow, maybe the first month. You know, if you're talking to 50 people a day, you're gonna set appointments, okay? You are, but it may not be every day. But pretty soon, you're gonna pick up that rhythm and momentum, and things gonna start to happen. And you're gonna have days when you set 2. Some days you're gonna set 3. So 240 days work, 1 listing appointment set every day that you work. So that's 240 appointments set. You're going to go on 240, they'll cancel or you cancel. You go on 200, you take 100. 50% closing ratio, which is really low. Like, you don't even need to know what you're doing to list half of them. Okay? That's it. That's your breakdown. Make sure you go to salesxtraining.com. On the bottom of the homepage, I think it's every page, but definitely the homepage, you could download my For Sale by Owner script. I love FSBO's the best script you can use to set appointments right now. Go download it and go to my YouTube channel. This will be on YouTube probably within the next, I don't know, week or whatever, if you want to listen to it again. But there are lots of other great videos and stuff for you there. So go on YouTube and subscribe.
What was your website again, please?
Sales X Training. If you Google my name, if you go to JackieKravitz.com, it'll take you there. It's JackieKravitz.com is redirected if that's easier. Although Kravitz, like I have to spell it a million times, so salesxtraining.com or JackieKravitz.com. And now, point number 20. Are you ready to wrap this up? Woo! Expect, yes, expect to be exhausted every day. That's it. If you're not exhausted on a day that you follow everything that I'm telling you to do, you're not doing it right. Okay? Because you will be exhausted. This is tiring. It's going to take a lot of energy, but it's really, really exciting. And when you make $800,000, that's if your average commission is 10 grand. For some of you, it's double, triple, quadruple that.
$7,500 times 10 is $75,000 times 10 months is $750,000. So what are you willing to do for $750,000 with 100 transactions?
Exactly. Absolutely. Yeah. You're gonna be tired. Expect to be. And if you end the day and you're like, oh, I got so much energy, I feel great. Well, you're not doing it right. Okay. This is simple. It's not easy. Like I said earlier, it's not brain surgery, no rocket science here, but it's hard work. And what I love about this, and I said it in the beginning and I'm going to repeat, once you get this and you do it once, you could do it again and you can do it again and you can do it again. It's not like when you're paying money and you're buying leads and then, I don't know, the market changes and this source doesn't exist or some happens out. No. You're the power. You're in control. You're the one that generates your business. I mean, it's just like so empowering. And then I'm going to remind you, now that you've listened to the 20 points, you're like, oh my gosh, this is a lot of work. There's no such thing as something for nothing. Everything, including you taking 100 listings in 2022, has a price to be paid. And if you're willing to pay the price, you get the rewards. That's it. Thank you for being here, everyone. I'm super excited that I was able to share all of this with you.
Thank you for joining us.
Jackie.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Jackie.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
My
Jackie,
All the
you are the
information was
best.
gold.
Thanks, Jackie. That was
you.
the best.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Jackie.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie.
Welcome. Happy New Year, everybody.